What if a private company could command armies, collect taxes, and rule over millions? It sounds unbelievable, but that's exactly what the British East India Company achieved. What began as a trading venture in 1600 evolved into one of the most powerful and controversial empires in history. The story starts with a royal charter granted by Elizabeth I. The company's goal was straightforward: reach Asia and profit from the lucrative trade in spices, silk, tea, and textiles. In its early years, it established trading posts in key coastal regions of India, relying on the permission of local rulers and the stability provided by the declining, yet still influential Mughal Empire. At first, the company was just one of many foreign traders competing for influence. But as the Mughal Empire weakened, political fragmentation created an opening. Regional rulers competed for power, and the company began to exploit these divisions. Instead of staying neutral, it formed strategic alliances, offered military support, and gradually inserted itself into local conflicts. The defining moment came with the Battle of Plassey. This was not just a military victory. It was a masterclass in political manipulation. By securing the betrayal of key figures within the opposing side, the company defeated the Nawab of Bengal and gained control of one of the wealthiest provinces in India. Bengal's resources would become the financial engine of the company's expansion. With access to immense revenue, the company transformed itself. It no longer depended solely on trade profits. It began collecting taxes directly from the population. This steady flow of wealth allowed it to build and maintain a vast private army composed largely of Indian soldiers. At its peak, this force rivaled, and in some cases exceeded, the military strength of entire European nations. As its military and economic power grew, the company took on the role of a governing authority. It administered territories, enforced laws, and dictated policies affecting millions of people. In effect, a corporation headquartered thousands of miles away was ruling a large part of the Indian subcontinent. The line between commerce and governance disappeared. However, this dominance came with serious consequences. The company's policies often prioritized profit over people. Heavy taxation placed enormous strain on farmers and local economies. Traditional industries were disrupted, and many communities faced economic hardship. Over time, dissatisfaction spread across different layers of society, from peasants to princes. This growing unrest eventually exploded into the Indian Rebellion of 1857. What began as a mutiny among Indian soldiers quickly turned into a widespread revolt against company rule. Cities rose up, alliances shifted, and for a moment, it seemed as though the company's grip might collapse entirely. Although the rebellion was ultimately suppressed, it exposed the deep flaws in the company's shasan. The British government could no longer ignore the risks of leaving such vast power in the hands of a private corporation. In 1858, the Crown intervened, dissolving the company's rule and bringing India under direct British control, a period that would become known as the British Raj. The rise and fall of the British East India Company is a striking example of how economic ambition can evolve into political control. It demonstrates the immense influence a corporation can wield when it combines wealth, military force, and strategic opportunism. At the same time, it highlights the human cost of unchecked power. In the end, the company didn't just trade goods. It reshaped history, leaving a legacy that continues to influence the modern world. Please don't subscribe to watch more videos.